The Five Nights at Freddy's chapter is right around the corner, and it's time to make our final predictions for what's to come. Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. It's time to dive into what I think exactly the FNAF chapter has in store for us. As you're watching this video, I'm currently at PAX. I'm at PAX East right now at the Dead by Daylight booth. I'll be there all week long. I'm going to react to the live stream itself at my hotel room just so I can record my reactions and bring you guys a summary, then run over the PAX, which is 20 minutes away, try to get as much interviews as I can, and then DBD has me signed up to play against you guys. And we also have a meet and greet all the times on screen. That's not the reason you clicked on the video though. It's time to talk about my final predictions for what I think is going to come with this FNAF chapter. We got to start off with the biggest thing, the killer. I honestly think it is a slam dunk that it's going to be Springtrap. To me, it just makes the most sense that that's going to be the killer, and the community has agreed with this one. Previously, we made a video talking about different scenarios where we can see Springtrap in the game, how his power would look, and we'll touch on that a little bit, but for the character itself and the killer, I think it has to be Springtrap. In the case that it's not Springtrap for whatever reason, completely honest with you, I don't know who they would pick. I'd assume Freddy would make the most sense because he's the face of FNAF, but I just really don't see that happening whatsoever. I've been saying it's going to be Springtrap from the day that they announced the collaboration was going to happen, so I got to stick to my guns and say that the killer we're going to get is 100% going to be Springtrap. Next on the list is what's the power? We got an animatronic. We at least know that guaranteed. What exactly is going to be the power that we're going to see? Well, if it is going to be Springtrap, I think that hallucinations or phantoms essentially just makes the most sense. That really ties in with its power. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be doing a little bit of a disservice to the character if they do it too similarly to something like the Knight. I don't want the power to feel super duper tame in comparison. Like, we've seen some crazy things, especially with Kaneki coming into the game, about the levels and how far they really can push the envelope, especially knowing how much they've improved over the years. So I really hope that it's nothing generic and boring, and I hope that it's something that is definitely interesting. At the same time, they need to keep it simplistic enough so that new players joining the game won't be overwhelmed. For example, if the character had a bunch of different things like Vecna, it might be a little bit difficult for a new player to understand all of the different things that you could do. So having the killer being interesting and unique, but still simplistic in a way, which is a hard balance to find, I think is the right way to go. And if they're going to use this power, I think we're probably going to see some of these phantom animatronics in some way, shape, or form. Next on the list, it has to be a map with this one. It has to be a map. I feel like it will be such a big disservice to the fans if there's absolutely no map whatsoever. Now, as to what exactly the map's gonna be, to me, there's two clear choices. Number one being Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And the second option, I think without a doubt, if it's Springtrap, has to be Fazbear's Fright. They're pretty much identical. One's an amusement park attraction based on the actual place, so either way, we're pretty much going to get the same exact thing. I just feel that it's super duper iconic, and it still works in a way. And again, it would be such a disservice to the fans if they didn't bring a map in. I know on interviews I said that maps are super expensive to make, and we're probably going to see less and less maps coming out, but I feel like this is one that they just really have to do. It's just something that you gotta do for the fans, you know? So these two maps in my mind make the most sense. People are familiar with them, and if they were able to work with Scott very closely, they could probably have some really cool elaborate ways and Easter eggs and cool things on this map. To me, again, this is a slam dunk. If a map is indeed coming, it's one of these two, guaranteed. There can't be anything else to come with it unless it's a huge curveball and we get full-on indoor-outdoor kind of feel with the amusement park itself, but I just don't see that happening. Next on the list are skins. I feel like this collaboration, TLDR, there's so much money to be made. Everybody's going to be lining their pockets, right? This is probably going to be the biggest chapter we ever see in Dead by Daylight, period. And I honestly project that we might see even double the peak amount of players that DBD has ever seen on Steam, which is about 100,000. So I think we might get 200,000 players when this officially comes out. That's 100,000 new customers essentially playing the game if, that is the case. And of course, if you're buying this DLC, chances are you're gonna buy a cosmetic. And I'd assume they'd have bundles and things to go with this. So the skins that I honestly expect to see has to be the original 4 characters, no matter what. If Springtrap's the killer, original 4, they have to go in. That's Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Freddy. And these can be legendary skins for characters, and it just makes sense for a lot of them. Freddy can be Trapper. They're both pretty much already like bears with Naughty Bear and then Freddy coming in. It just makes the most sense, and they're both icons of their own game. Foxy, I've seen a lot of people say that he could be Blight, which makes a lot of sense as well, or even Legion to an extent. Although Vanny the Bunny makes a lot of more sense for Legion because, again, Legion already has a bunny outfit, and then it just kind of works with the speed. So these are some of the skins that I think are almost guaranteed to come in. The original 4 and Vanny, to me, just makes so much sense. Then there's so many other things that we could talk about. I know there's a clown version of Freddy, if I'm not mistaken, or Springtrap. I don't remember exactly. Or Golden Freddy. I don't know. Then after that, there's so many different things that they could do. I know there's Jackie that could potentially be the clown skin or something like that. I know there's also the amalgamation that could potentially be the Dread skin, which makes a lot of sense as well. I even seen some people saying that the puppet could work as the nurse as well. These are just all crazy skins that could potentially happen, and to an extent does work. But to me, the original 4 and the rabbit coming in, or the bunny I should say, just makes the most sense. And apologies, I don't know that much about FNAF, but I will. I plan on playing every single game before this fully comes out into DVD. I used to watch it back in the days, watch Game Theory like everybody, a Markiplier, when the first and the second game came out, and then I just gave up when the lore got too confusing, in my opinion. So I'll get to it, so apologies if I don't refer to everything properly. But yeah, those skins I think are guaranteed to come into the game. Finally, we have to talk about the future. What happens after this? FNAF is obviously going to give a big boom to Dead by Daylight, but I think the longevity of it just makes a lot of sense. And I fully expect them to bring more legendary skins, potentially with even voice lines coming into the game. And that just preserves the future of everything. I feel like we might even see some Blighted skins. It could be very on brand, and it works through the DBD realm. So many other iconic licensors allow DBD to do that, and we know Rose said she was hard at work, so I'd assume they're making some originals as well, so that way you can keep on building with the FNAF hype as years and years go on. And of course, we didn't even talk about the potential of a new survivor. How could we miss out on that? I think it's a pretty open and shut book. It has to be Michael Afton, right? Michael Afton just makes the most sense to be the survivor coming into the game. Now, to how exactly they're going to make that work, how are they going to make him look, it'll be quite interesting. To be fair, they could give it like a Yoichi treatment where they interpret it in their own exact way, and if they have permission, that could work out quite well, so I can definitely see something happening like that. And then besides that, I don't really know who really fits perfectly. It could just be a regular security guard like Mike, but I just don't see it happening, to be honest. But there you go. Those are my final predictions for the FNAF chapter, and that's pretty much all I think we're going to be getting. As for the stream tomorrow, I don't know what's going to be included in it, if we're just going to get a little teaser, if we're going to get an official trailer drop, if they're going to fully break down everything and talk about all of the different perks and the powers and everything. Regardless, I will update you guys tomorrow. Again, I'm at PAX right now. I recorded this before I went, obviously, but tomorrow is the stream. It's the big day. We've been waiting for it for a very long time. Like I said, my plan is to either find a place at PAX where I could quickly record, which I don't think I'll find that, or just stay in my hotel room, record everything, and then hop on over there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. I'm going to try to get everything out to you guys ASAP. In case you want to watch a live stream live, you can check out all of Dead by Daylight socials. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know down in the comments down below what you think is going to be coming with this chapter. Do you think my predictions are accurate? And if you agree or disagree. At the end of the day, your opinion is what matters the most. As always, I'm the king. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.